Some men are born into greatness, others seize it with both hands no matter the cost. John of Valois, Duke of Burgundy, was such a man. He was known to history as John the Fearless. But fearlessness can be a double-edged sword. It can build a legend or carve a path straight to destruction. John's story is one of breathtaking ambition, political genius, and brutal, unforgiving violence. He was a prince of the blood, yet he would stop at nothing to place his power at the very heart of France. In the bustling streets of Paris, he was a hero. In the gilded halls of the royal court, he was a viper. His life was a tightrope walk between adoration and infamy. To understand John the Fearless, we must first understand the world that shaped him. The France of the late 14th century was a kingdom in crisis, ravaged by the 100 Years' War against England. At the center of this fractured kingdom sat a broken king. Charles VI, once known as the Beloved, was now tragically known as the Mad. His madness created a vacuum at the heart of French power. With the king incapacitated, power fell to the great nobles. Chief among them were two powerful factions: Louis, Duke of Orléans, and Philip the Bold, John's father. They were locked in a bitter struggle for the future of France itself. John's defining moment came in 1396. At the Battle of Nicopolis, a Grand Crusader army met with catastrophic disaster against the Ottoman Empire. John fought with incredible bravery, earning his famous moniker from Sultan Bayezid himself. In 1404, his father died, and John became the new Duke of Burgundy. At 33, he was now one of the most powerful men in the kingdom, ready to challenge his great rival, Louis of Orléans. The rivalry between John the Fearless and Louis, Duke of Orléans, was more than political. It was personal and bitter. Louis dominated the royal council, while John styled himself as a man of the people, a reformer fighting corruption. On the night of November 23, 1407, the tension finally snapped. As Louis of Orléans rode through the dark streets of Paris, he was ambushed by masked assassins.
They fell upon him with savage fury. "It is the Duke of Burgundy," one assassin cried. Louis died in the gutter, his blood staining the Parisian cobblestones. The murder was brutal, shocking, and ruthlessly efficient.
Cornered, John did something utterly audacious. He confessed, but he didn't just confess. He justified his actions, claiming Louis had been a tyrant plotting against the kingdom. The blood feud had begun. The assassination cleaved France in two: Burgundians versus Armagnacs. For a decade, they butchered each other. At the Battle of Agincourt, John held his forces back as his Armagnac rivals were annihilated by the English. John began to flirt with England, seeing Henry V as a useful tool to crush the Armagnacs. For many Frenchmen, it was nothing short of treason. He was no longer just the fearless, he was the traitor. By 1419, John was at the zenith of his power, but France was bleeding to death. A reconciliation was needed. The meeting was arranged at the Bridge of Montereau, supposedly neutral ground. As John knelt before the Dauphin as a sign of respect, the trap was sprung. "The time has come," cried one of the Dauphin's men. They fell upon the Duke with swords and axes, hacking him to pieces on the wooden planks. John's death didn't end the civil war, it poured fuel on the fire. His son allied entirely with the English, signing the Treaty of Troyes that named Henry V as heir to the French throne. John the Fearless had brought France to its knees in life and pushed it over the edge in death. His legacy remains a stark warning, a tale of a man whose fearlessness won him a kingdom, but whose methods ensured he would never live to rule it.